Hello, welcome to 10-Minute English with May. And today we're looking into our interrogative pronouns. So, what does it mean to interrogate someone? To interrogate means to ask questions. So oftentimes when you watch dramas, TV series talking about police officers, inspectors, secret agents, they're interrogating the criminals, the suspects, right? So an interrogative pronoun is simply the pronoun that states there is a question. So words like what, which, who, whom, whose are interrogative pronouns. So in the first example sentence, what did you do after the party? So you can see the question mark here, right? This is a question. It is interrogating, asking a question. So a pronoun needs to be either the subject or the object of the sentence. And in this case, your subject is you, right? And did do is your verb. So remember, because this is a question, it is now no longer in our subject verb word order. Instead, it is reversed, right? Verb subject. So what did you do? You did what? You did something. And a second example, who built this house? So same thing here, right? Who built this house? This is a question. And who is the subject? If you remember from our last class, the objective case would be whom. So in this case, he built this house. Who built this house? And the third example, mom asked us what we wanted for dinner. So you might be wondering now, where is your question mark? There's no question. But what you have here is a question noun clause. So a clause, a quick recap, is something with subject verb. But a clause is not the same as a sentence because we have something called dependent clause, like adjective clause, like noun clause, or in the future, we'll also talk about adverbial clause. So they do not stand alone as a sentence. And this is called a question noun clause because originally it was a question and it is being modified into a statement. So originally, the question was, what did we want for dinner? Question mark. But now it is mom asked this. So what is the us? Us is also an object, but this is what we call indirect object because it is not the what, the thing that mom asked directly, right? But it is being influenced or impacted. So this is what we call indirect object. So we'll talk more about this later on. Now, if you pay close attention, inside this noun clause, we wanted something for dinner. That is our prepositional phrase, right? And you might be wondering, all right, why is this subject verb structure not like verb subject structure? Because it is now in a statement word order. So that is why you have a period here instead of a comma. All right. And that is also why you have to take out the helping verb did from the question and add ed after want. All right. So a question. Why don't we have why or when or how? These are all question words as well. Why are they not a part of the interrogative pronouns? So let's take a look at this example. When did you finish your homework? So this is a question But what would be the subject and object of this sentence? It would be you did finish is your verb and homework is your object, right? So the when here, this is actually what we call an adverb or expletive. It is not subject, it is not object, so it is not an interrogative pronoun. All right. So now let's compare relative pronouns and interrogative pronouns because some of them look very similar, right? We have who, we have whom, we have whose, and we also have which, right? So in the first example, Angie, who is quite prompt, will be here on time. So first of all, this is not a question. And second of all, if you see your pronoun here, the pronoun comes after a noun and it is modifying this noun, which is called the antecedent. So this is actually our relative pronoun because this is an adjective clause that's modifying Angie. And seeing how Angie is a proper noun and given the context that there's probably only one Angie in the room, so it's very clear who we're referring to. And that is why we have our inserter commas, right? This is non-essential adjective clause. If you take a look at the second example, I wonder who will come tomorrow. So do you see how there's no noun for it to modify? There's no antecedent in this case. So no antecedent or the clause to modify. And more importantly, it comes after a verb. I wonder this. So we know that this is a question noun clause functioning as the object of the sentence. So who will come, right? And that is in a statement word order. All right, and the last one, well, it is quite obvious, right? So who are you? There's no antecedent in this case, right? And there is a question mark. So we know that this is also an interrogative pronoun. All right, and that is the difference between interrogative and relative pronouns. And we will continue discussing other types of pronouns next class. Bye-bye.